why Providence, uh, Rhode Island?
Why
I can't think. Yeah, why
Providence?
Providence, Rhode Island? Because you didn't have any ties
Because
there.
Providence is dope. I mean,
It is a pretty awesome city.
it's an incredible city. Why Providence? So that's a great question. So we knew we wanted to start small. We knew we wanted to do something that was like kind of very mom and poppy by intent, right? Like we didn't want to do anything more than we could manage.
And you weren't planning to do a restaurant at this time. You
No,
wanted
no, no.
to do
This was
it's just a cheese shop.
yeah. So I should back up. So this was like the vision, and I started drawing. And I still have the drawings actually. It's super cool. I found them the other day, but I drew out like the store, right? So it was a retail shop that had cheeses, charcuterie, some house-made items, prepared foods. Kate was going to do all the baked goods. We'd have fresh coffee, like the whole kind of that whole vibe. But restaurant, I guess, in the classic, kind of form hadn't really entered my mind yet. I knew that like there'd be some element of food service, but I didn't. I figured to start to be like paninis and whatever. So anyways, so we were kind of trying to figure out where to go, and we didn't want to go to New York. We felt like we'd kind of had done Boston and needed a little bit of a respite from where we grew up. And Providence just kind of kept coming on our radar. And my mother at that time, and still to this day, is living in the very southern end of Rhode Island. And so she was going to be local too, which we were excited about. And Kate's family was not going to be that far away. And so we kind of figured we'd check it out. So Providence just kind of felt like a spot that we wanted to consider. I think what we loved about it was that it was a liberal arts town. It had the universities, right? So we could plan on kind of that traffic and customer count, right? And events because of that also. It also was like on the seacoast, which, I'm a huge fan of the ocean and of coastal cuisine, so that was important to us. It was a quick drive to Boston. Like, there's just so many pluses.
I feel like plus, like in 2002, like Providence isn't the same city it was today. I feel like it kind of has freshened up a little bit in the past 20 years.
Yeah,
so when you were coming in,
what are you trying to say? It wasn't nice back then?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But like, I think a lot of those size cities, or like a lot of people have been getting out of the bigger cities, and the people like you, the Matt Jennings of the world, have been going to these medium to smaller size cities to like kind of re-inject new life into them over the past 20 years.
Yeah, it's definitely a periphery city.
But there's other cities like that, right? Lewiston, Maine, I feel like is a city like that. That's just like the bones are there because it's the second largest city in Maine, right?
Yeah.
And it has great bones, but there's just so much opportunity in these not mainstream cities. Like I know Providence, Rhode Island is like the capital of Rhode Island, but 20 years ago, I feel like it was kind of on the come up.
Well, I mean, the honest truth too is like there's so much about Providence and Rhode Island that we didn't even know about, and that played to our benefit. Like the food culture there is incredible, right? Like just, I mean, from the local seafood to Federal Hill to a lot of the young upstart entrepreneurs that come out of Johnson and Wales to so many different things. That's the other thing. We had the culinary school there too. You know? So there's like so many great benefits of living and doing business in Providence.
I think the point I was trying to make is like I feel like people think they have to go to the biggest cities to make things happen. I think there's more opportunity in smaller cities, and it's easier to make a splash in a smaller city. So was that playing in the back of your head?
It honestly wasn't like it was. Making a splash was not like ever.
It was a cheese shop.
Yeah, it was never the intent. Like I didn't need to go out. Do anything that drew a ton of attention to ourselves. I just wanted to have a great little business that Kate and I were going to operate ourselves and be in a place that we loved, you know. And